And of course, I'm going to have a part 3. Sorry for the lack of introductions. If you're finding this video, links below to the other 2 videos. Just because I don't have a way to put them together, unless I find something I want to share. I don't know if I'll do that. I don't know if I have space on my old laptop to put it back on or not. I'll have to see. But if this is a 3rd video and you're finding it now, the links are below, and I'll just clip this if I put it in there through Wondershare. So this is part 3 of this forgiveness message, and I left off, I said forgiveness is not alliance, and that's very true, but I forgot to also mention at the end, like, what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is acceptance, and this is the thing with it being acceptance and not alliance, or liking the thing that happened or the person, or having an emotional response and entanglements to whatever the things are, or the thing is. It's not in alignment with the thing to say that you agree with it. It's an acceptance. It is what it is. It happened. I'm going to agree to my true version that I experienced, mark it in my history timeline here of things in my memory book or my photo album or whatever, my journal, that this happened to me and in this scenario. And in that acceptance, now I can find release after the fact to say that this did happen to me. It will be accounted and held accountable for. I am not the judger. I understand this, and some people totally get this. Same thing with the initial message about forgiveness. Some people just initially get this, and some people don't. But try it on for size if you don't get it or you don't like the feeling of having God in judgment. But I strongly believe in an infinite creator who is the ultimate balancer of all things, and that the overall balance is benevolence and unconditional love, and there is true laws that run the organic growth of life that happens here, and that is overseen by a beautiful, wonderful creator. However you choose to align with the wordings and what that image is, just know that every time you make a deviation from the original of what God is that you can't even speak about, the one truth that has no word for it, as soon as you start to make these words and these deviations away, they're distortions. And not everyone is going to agree with yours, but we do really agree that there's one central God, creator. I think we do, an infinite. I think we really do. Anyways, so knowing that there's an ultimate judgment, there's an ultimate balancing at happening and reckoning at whatever timeline and time space it happens at, whatever you choose to believe, but know that it will happen and it does happen. And let that go. Let the judgment portion of the whole scenario that you're going to forgive, just understand that it will happen. Have trust and faith in the fact that it will happen, and that helps us to release and let go of that memory, those scenarios, without needing to see it right now, feel it right now, or see that person repercussions straight away in some kind of way. Know that at the end of the time closing book of God of judgment, it will be taken care of in its most just and righteous way, and humbly acknowledge that you don't play that part, you don't play that role, just like you don't want to put another human being, another person that you've wronged in some time in your life, to be casting judgment on you in that kind of epic, lifelong way. You don't want some other to put, only God judges me. Don't do that to me, is our stance, right? So we need to give other people that space as well. And that helps, again, with forgiveness as acceptance. And that really what it is, and not anything more or less. And it really is more of a space of neutralizing and moving forward, letting go and allowing freedom that I spoke about in the middle video, the video that I'm continuing this with, about it not being in alliance, but it sets us free. It doesn't tie us down to the event and force us to own it forever or anything. It sets us free from it, and we can all move on. And sometimes that moving on looks much different in all different scenarios, and I'm just going to put that out there. Sometimes it's really actually distance, and sometimes it's different. It's on a lot of levels. So, but that's my thought. I didn't want to, again, be very long. So, but I felt like I have to explain what forgiveness kind of is to me, of course, and others will agree with me. And if you don't, like I said before, maybe try to think about it here and there in that kind of way, or spend some time in contemplation about how and what ways you would want to be seen by the Creator in judgment, and try to own that sovereign responsibility and accountability, and also know that everyone else is and will be held to that as well. And it creates a different atmosphere of life and of appreciation of life and of communication with others, you know. It really helps to bring the oneness to life. And it's hard work. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is simple to understand. And that's how I know it's very true, because it's simplistic and organic, and it makes sense. It's eternally feels good at the end. It feeds itself in this kind of cathartic, detox, true healing way. So yeah, that's my last message for today. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.